Shalom, Kahalayam, La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. That means all praises to the Heavenly Father Yahweh and His only begotten Son Yahweh Shai. Alright, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of GMS who rule well, who I learned this truth from. And salutations and blessings to elect out there, starting with 144,000 on down. So pretty much the title of this lesson is to tap in, and that's coming from a lamb back from the elder Yeshawamba. Last week he did a video, going into more about internal character, all right, the inner man, and really getting into this, into this whole ministry, all these different aspects, man. Especially if you've been in this 10, 15, brothers going on 20 years, brothers that came from 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, sometimes you can get complacent in this. You can go on cruise control. Don't think you need to learn more or tap into this thing more. You go into this cycle of going on the highways, doing your videos, and just this repetitive cycle, but there's more to be extracted from this truth, and so to speak. There's more to give. There's more to put effort into to get back. There's a lot more, right? So this is Psalms 119 and 58 AMP. I sought your favor with all my heart. Be merciful and gracious to me according to your promise. I considered my ways and turned my feet to follow and obey your testimonies. In the NLT, verse 59 says, I pondered the direction of my life and I turned to follow your laws. See, so sometimes we have to, like Paul said, examine yourself to see whether you are in this truth, in this faith, roughly paraphrasing. Right? You got to examine yourself, cross-examine. You got to really sit down and ponder, and ask the Lord and pray. Is there more you want from me? Can I do more? Can you give me more of this aspect? Can you have to really ponder, man, the state of your camp, the state of this ministry. What is not lacking, but the scriptures say the harvest is plenteous, the laborers are few. So there's always work to be done. Verse 60, back in AMP, I hurried and did not delay to keep your commandments. The cords of the wicked have encircled me and ensnared me, but I have not forgotten your law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks to you because of your righteous ordinances. I am a companion of all who reverently fear you and of those who keep your precepts. But the point was really in 59. So we got to really ponder our life, man. Yeah, we're doing the videos. Yeah, we're going on the highways. We do the high holy days. But now brothers are getting into these little details, man. Going into the incense, the priestly duties. Just even that little aspect about the incense, going get the raw resin and figuring out and studying these things and doing that as part of our daily routine, and going into the we're doing it in class. You got incense. We're on the highways, we got incense because that's part of our culture. That little minuscule thing. There's so many other things, but this is all part of it. You notice these other camps, like, this is a good point the elders and apostles make. These guys claiming to be priests and high priests, they're not selling you frankincense and myrrh, spikenard, cinnamon, different oils. They're selling you fucking Hermes hats, t-shirts with fringes. They're selling you Hebrew prayers, Hebrew names, but we got to get back into this because this is all a part of our heritage, right? Now let's go to Lamentations 3, start at 39. Again in the AMP. Why should any living mortal or any man complain of punishment in view of his sins? Let us test and examine our ways, and let us return to the Lord Yahweh. Alright? And truly the Lord Yahweh, He tests us. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, He tries us. Whenever He gives you these calamities in your life, whenever He gives you these strong trials, these winds are, these winds are blowing, like the parable with Yahushai, You better have built that house on sure ground, not sand. But the winds are going to keep coming to try you, keep mortifying your members, keep turning you to the right path. Sometimes we kind of lean off to the left path. We got to go to the right path. The Lord got to turn us, man. Okay, it's very uncomfortable at times, and it's just going to get more because this world is just so fucking wicked. Wickedness is pretty much at its climax. We're entering that time of the most wicked time on the planet. And it's not that there's not going to be wickedness in the kingdom. These other nations are going to be committing that, but and that's our, the elect. They got to judge and do have a righteous so-called government. It's not going to be government, but so you understand. But at the same time, we're gonna be controlling your mind, with these laws in a sense. We're gonna be guiding you, showing you. Right? We're really gonna be the stewards of the earth, starting with the elect, really. And like I said, you're gonna be the judges and administrators of this system. This, if you will, it's a theocracy, God-driven or a God power society. The Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, through King David, the 12, all the way down. Right? So we have to test and examine ourselves, man. Let me look up this word actually. Let's see what it says. Let us examine. Right? Hapash. To search out, disguise oneself, to be searched. Right? And probe. Right? Acquire, which means to search for, examine, investigate yourself. Investigate yourself, man. What's going on in my life before brothers start to, and the Spirit starts checking for you, because the scriptures say, what does it say? The Spirit searcheth all things, to penetrate, hence to examine intimately, find out, to make search, seek out, sound, or try. Very important, man, for yourself, for your own spirit, your own soul. Verse 41, let us lift up our hearts and our hands in prayer toward the power in heaven. We have transgressed and rebelled, you have not pardoned. You have covered yourself with anger and pursued us. You have slain without pity and have not spared. You have covered yourself with a cloud so that no prayer can pass through. Right? And that was true, of course, with before obviously Yahushai. Yahweh pretty much closed that covenant. He said, look, I'm not even dealing with you people anymore. So our prayers were not heard, and it's only through Yahushai, our lawyer, our mediator, okay, who's fighting our case, pleading our case in the heavens, okay, that is hearing our prayers, man, and answering and bringing the Rachakodash and doing all these great things, man. That's the only way. Right? So you have made us scum and refuse among the peoples, Gentile nations. Right? And NLT 45 says, you have discarded us as refuse and garbage among the nations. All our enemies, verse 46 AMP, all our enemies have gaped at us. Panic and pitfall, traps, danger have come on us. Devastation and destruction. See? So, you can keep reading, but really the point was, look, we went off, the Most High fucked us up. Right? Excuse my French. He messed us up. But why should we complain? What is that book? Not Haggai. Habakkuk, I will bear the indignation of the Lord till he plead my cause, because we have, look, whatever happens in your life, you can't really complain, bro. And I know it sucks. It seems all ways are against you, all angles. You're done. You're finished. But that's the point. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai pushes us to our maximums. He really pushes us to our maximums, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he'll stretch you all the way. Stretch and stress you all the way, right? To the point where, look, you ain't got no choice. You got to turn to me, unless you just want to be destroyed. Unless you just want to bug out, follow out the truth, so to speak, and to have this heavenly gift removed. All right, but he stretches us, he pulls us all the way, so we can run nowhere. There's nowhere to run. There's no other comfort but the Comforter. All right, so hey, let's go to the book of Haggai 1. Haggai chapter 1. And it's just gonna keep getting more intense as we are entering which we are in Jacob's trouble as we are going down that road, man. Things are going to get more rough. The path is getting more narrow. I mean, it's great to have brothers. It's great to congregate, but you really, you can even have counsel with brothers. You can have brothers anoint you, pray for you. But there's certain intricate, intimate things about you. You got to deal with the Lord. As it says, examine yourself, ponder the ways of your life. Am I really, I'm in this truth. I'm doing, I'm on the highways. But am I really tapped in? As I gotta use that expression, like Apostle Elder Yeshawamba said, tap in. Yeah, we're tapped in, but are you tapped in? All right, are you really tapped in, man? Are you hearing the voice of the Lord? Are you hearing the Rachak Wadash? When the Rachak Wadash speaks, it might say something you won't. It kind of hurts. Are you taking that in? Are you helping brothers? The Rachak Wadash might tell you something. You gotta help this brother, or you gotta do this. Nah, I can't. I just can't. I don't. Are you hearing that? Are you really pondering these little intricate refinements of yourself? We're constantly being refined. And now it's that point where, you got to really look at yourself and say, man, this part of me is fucked up. I just got to cut it off, right? What did Yahushua say? It's better that you go in the kingdom with one eye, one of thy members don't make it, rather than the whole body get cast, which going into also the camps, and if you have a member in it, but also yourself, man. If you got something, a part of you that's really just messing you up, holding you back, but it's your little crutch, well, you're at the crossroads, man. Certain things you have to discard on this fucking great journey, this beautiful, great journey. You have to discard these little things to really get the prize. Right? Haggai 1:5 AMP. Now therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways and thoughtfully reflect on your conduct. Thoughtfully reflect, man. You're not just waking up, I'm doing this, I gotta make this move, I'm out here. There's times when you really gotta consult with your spirit, man, with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Cry unto him. Really ponder the ways of your life, man. This is, and I'm speaking because this is the situation I'm in. All right, this is first and foremost for me, this lesson. You got to really ponder the direction of your life, man. All right, verse 6, you have planted much. Well, that's the point, actually, because we know the scripture, but hey, we're in a messed up state. So the Lord's saying, look, you're in a fucked up state, so you have no choice but to ponder your ways. We're so fucked that what are you gonna do? Go in the world, try this, try that? The world is ending. Hey, the plug is being pulled. So I don't know. There's nothing in the world, man. The world is ending. Period. The power is going out. Okay, the music is about to stop. All right. Now let's finish up. Let's get James 1. James 1. You know what? I'll start at 21 AMP. So get rid of all uncleanness and all that remains of wickedness, right? In the precept it says surplus of all that remains of wickedness, and with a humble spirit receive the word of the Most High, which is implanted, actually rooted in your heart, which is able to save your souls. But prove yourselves doers of the word, actively and continually obeying the Most High's precepts. Actively. Sometimes we get in like I said in the beginning, cruise control, we get complacent. Actively means actively. It means you're in motion. You know what's going on. Okay, I'm good. I have to use my talent here. I gotta chill here and there. I gotta be humble here, and I gotta, And I'm not saying your whole life is gonna be compartmentalized like that. However you say that word, compartmentalized. Everything is organized in this proper pocket. But again, as we're being more refined, we're refining down to the minuscule, down to things you don't think matters. Like, for example, a few years ago now. Wow, like 4, 5, 6 years ago, Apostle Tahar made the order: no shorts at camp. At first, I did not get it. Why? Because, and not that I bucked up. I said, okay, no problem. Even though summer, no problem. I don't. I got it maybe a month or two later. Really reflecting on it. But you know why I didn't get it? Because majority of us, all of us really, we're Babylonianized. We're so brought up in this system that when you really reflect on it, you say, yeah, that is a Greek custom. We always wore, think about it, we always wore long robes, long garments. You had breeches under. You didn't have shorts. You had, well, breeches can be shorts, but either way, you had coverings. That workout shit, where you got them short ass shorts, you showing your knee, like Apostle, I don't want to see a man's kneecaps. That shit is Greek, man. That's going into your nakedness. Yeah, let me show off my calves. I've been ripping my legs. I want people to see the muscularity in my legs. That's Greek, man. I want to wear the cutoff shirt so people can see my triceps. I want them to see the definition of my forearms. That's all Greek vanity. Okay, so it makes sense. Hey, even in one of my favorite shows, The Sopranos, and this really happened. You had mafia guys commenting and calling them sometimes, right, and saying, hey, you guys are doing a good job on this show, but there was an episode, right, where they had Tony Soprano, the boss, in shorts. And I'll never forget this. This is a true story. They said that one night he gets a call, right? The actor's name is James Gandolfini, right? He plays Tony Soprano. He gets a call at night, bring, bring, right? He picks up. Back in the day, you had those, you had the house phones, you pick it up. The guy's like, yeah, you're doing a good job. We like what you guys are doing and everything, but just remember one thing: Adon doesn't wear shorts. Bing, and they hung up. Adon doesn't wear shorts. That was funny, man. But anyway, that's a thing we gotta. And then now I reflect at it and I say, why didn't I get it originally? Because the order from Apostle Tahar was because we're so fucking in this system. We grew up here. We think this is normal. Okay, we think all these like these people, they think women wearing what they're wearing is just normal. They're expressing themselves. So we have grown up in the filth. So that's an example of a like an intricate little refinement that, even though just to a lot of people it don't make sense. What do you mean? It's hot out. It's 30 degrees, bro. We need shorts. It's summer. We need shorts. Why can't we have shorts at camp? Other camps have shorts at camp. That's the spirit moved Apostle Tahar to do that little refinement, and at the same time to see, hey, which nigga really don't, kick him out. He has a big problem with this. Well, guess what? You got to leave, because there's constant refinements that are going to keep coming into this ministry. The 3 videos a week. Constant refinement. Really, every day, feed my sheep. If you love me, feed my sheep. Every day, refinement. It's uncomfortable because, again, we're in the flesh. We're in this wicked kingdom. There's wickedness 24/7. There's a drive-through of wickedness 24/7 in this kingdom. You can go out. You don't even have to go outside. You go on your phone in this little fucking piece of shit portal, and there's wickedness here. So there's wickedness here. So that means we got to get more rooted and deeper into this word. Okay, it says, now this is a great point, verse 22, but prove yourselves doers of the word, actively and continually obeying the Most High's precepts, and not merely listeners who hear the word but fail to internalize its meaning. That should be the title of lesson 2, really, Lord, as well, if the Spirit moves me. But you have to internalize. You don't hear this word only, you internalize its meaning. That's the point of these little constant refinements that demons really find, oh, it's so wearisome, it's so burdening. And even though a righteous man can find it burdening at first, because we're in this flesh, we're putting off old things, mortifying. When you really get into it, wow, a month, 2, 3, 4, whatever, 6 months later, you truly see the benefit of that refinement. Like, wow, this was actually to my benefit. And that's the point of the devil shall deceive the whole world. This man went out of a bottomless pit, and what did he do? He deceived the whole world. He told you that polyester is great to wear, nylon, all this bullshit. All right, he told you that coconut oil will cause you heart disease. Here, take this vegetable oil. he turned the world upside down. He told the world upside down. He says, you women are being oppressed. Here, be sexually liberated. And now, what is the end goal? What is the end result of feminism? Prostitution. Women selling themselves. Beautiful. The devil tricked you. Beautiful. You people got duped. And not merely listeners who hear the word but fail to internalize its meaning, deluding yourselves by unsound reasoning contrary to the truth. Deluding, meaning you're delirious, bro. You're actually fooling yourself. You're bugged out. You know, the only person you're lying to is yourself. You're tricking yourself. For if anyone only listens to the word without obeying it, he is like a man who looks very carefully at his natural face in a mirror, for once he has looked at himself and gone away, he immediately forgets what he looks like. Okay? So that was the point on that. Alright, so A, internalize this truth, internalize its meaning. Hear the word and internalize its meaning. That's the point of these little refinements. Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Chakurash. Shalom to the elect. Kwam Yasharallah.